Okay, this is as good a place as any to begin.
Hello, Johnny from Eurogamer here. Recently, Aoife and I went to Universal Studios in California to get hands-on with Jurassic World Evolution, as you've hopefully seen already from our other coverage on the channel. Strange though it may seem for a park simulator game, Evolution actually boasts a proper story, featuring a whole cast of characters with wildly divergent senses of basic morality, including, of course, Dr. Ian Malcolm himself.
Life, it begins.
The man behind the story is writer Zuur Platten, who's worked on all sorts of games from Fear Effect to Transformers to The Chronicles of Riddick. I sat down with John at Universal in a room with disgustingly nice lighting to talk about the game's story, writing for Jeff Goldblum, and retconning the series' fiction. Here's what happened next.
I guess my first question is, what are the challenges in writing a narrative for a game that's so deeply systemic? I mean, this is a simulator. How?
So the trick here is really, where the game is very open world and very free to let the player just kind of explore and do what they want. The goal is to set the table. The goal is to provide some context, to entice the player to do certain things, but ultimately the freedom is theirs. So I've always believed, I've written a tremendous amount of video games over the years, and I've always believed that the player themselves is a co-creator of the story with me. So I look at their involvement as essential to the story that plays out. So this was kind of a fun thing where I sort of put things in place and then it's yours. That being said, there's also a campaign that you can play. There are 3 branches within the game that you can explore. There's science, entertainment, and security. Each of those branches has unique characters and unique storylines that take place that are sort of structured in a linear fashion, and when you get through all of them together, they all equal something. So, but of course the choice is up to you. So if you want to start with security, or you want to do some security and then jump over to entertainment, your choice. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have to say, when we were playing through the demo, I was playing with my colleague and I insisted that we avoid the entertainment path just because the main PR manager is such a snake. I just thought it's
intentionally.
Yes, which I thought was really, really great. I like how you brought out the element of kind of morality and
yeah. Well, the Jurassic Park property it's about dinosaurs, of course, but it's really also about the hubris of man, and the idea that humanity can find a way to take something that was extinct, bring it back to life, and then somehow control that.
Right.
Is at the essence of the property. And so when you look at saying, okay, so you start with this notion of somebody who's not fully understanding what they're doing, and then you build out upon that into sort of like a character that kind of fills a number of slots for us, sort of the corporate guy, he's willing to cut corners, he's always kind of looking at the bottom line, no harm, no foul kind of character. And then you try and build that into something interesting that's not just a cliche. That's a fun thing to do. And to be able to create some characters that are new to the Jurassic World and Jurassic Park property, but do it in a way that kind of pays tribute to other characters you've seen before.
Of course, yeah.
That was really fun.
Yeah, because of course you've got the scientists who can't help seeing these things as specimens rather than actual living creatures.
Exactly.
Presumably the security guy is all too aware of that.
Yeah, everyone's sort of blinded to a bit by their own sort of bias. And so, the scientist, Dr. Dewis, she's just enthralled by the science. And so the consequences of the science don't really mean much to her.
Yeah.
The entertainment division, Isaac just wants to put on a great show. We're here to entertain people. We're here to make money. We're here to be bigger and better than Disneyland, right?
Yeah.
This is what we're all about. We got to do it, right? And so occasionally when things go wrong, whoops, right? And then Lambert is so focused on trying to keep things under control that he doesn't really realize he has no control. It's that sort of thing. And then you've got Malcolm sort of sitting outside it all, kind of going, seen that before, know how that goes wrong. Yeah, you're going to screw that up. And that's the fun thing with that character, is that he pops in to kind of not only rib the other characters in the game, but to kind of nudge the player too and say, did you think about that?
And it's interesting that he does pop in at very poignant intervals.
Yeah.
when I think if I were in your position, I would have been tempted to just use him ceaselessly, kind of just across the board. Was it difficult to avoid the temptation to just...
He's so great, and the character is so fun to write, and he brings so much to the property, and he's an icon. Yeah. He's an icon, and so you just wanted just give us more Goldblum, that's the answer. Just as much Ian Malcolm as you can put in there, but we decided that we really wanted to make sure that Malcolm felt like he was there for a reason.
Right.
People ask, well, isn't he pretty much anti everything that's going on at Jurassic World? And to a certain degree, yes, but also to a certain degree, no. In that sense that this genie's out of the bottle. He knows it's not going back. So he feels a certain responsibility since he's had so much hands-on experience in tragic ways with the research of the Hammond Foundation and Jurassic Park world. He feels sort of almost a responsibility to be there, even if he doesn't like it. Even if he's like, there are times when he's still kind of awed by it.
Yeah.
And so we felt it was an interesting way to create a dynamic relationship between Malcolm and ultimately the player. And that pays off in an interesting way when you get to the end of the game.
Sure. Just to kind of clear up where the game sits in terms of the timeline. Obviously, when you hear from Malcolm, he has had this first-hand experience of how dangerous these things are. But correct me if I'm wrong, the game does jump about a bit in terms of when it's set. Could you just sort of clarify that for us?
So the game basically it sort of exists in multiple times. Okay. There's actually an homage to the original Jurassic Park, which is fantastic, and I think players will really enjoy that. And we go back and kind of put a little more context and a little more story into things you may think you know, but maybe you don't. And then the vast majority of the game itself sort of lives right towards the end of this film, the film coming out, Fallen Kingdom, and then it also sort of integrates with other timelines that sort of happen in between those two films. So it's a little bit squishy, and it's tricky because we're trying to be completely true to the franchise and not step on anything where the film may be going next or where the franchise is, and still be able to create a really compelling experience for the player that hooks in to everything that they want. So it's a bit of a balancing act.
Interesting.
I think we've pulled it off.
Good, yeah. Was there anything you were sort of tempted to try and retcon or change or add in?
Yes.
I realise you may not be able to give us many examples.
I don't know if I'm actually allowed to say the examples. But I did try and retcon a character's motivation from the original film, and everyone liked it except the people that had the ability to say yes and no. And they went, "Oh, that's a great idea. We're not doing that."
Was it the guy who clears up the slice of pie with all the shaving foam on it from Dodgson and Nedry's covert meeting? Because that guy, really, you can pin a lot of the whole franchise.
Yeah, there's a lot of backstory that's sort of implied in the Jurassic Park universe.
Yeah.
That's been really great, and it's been explored in the Jurassic World films, explored in the original Jurassic Park films, and actually goes all the way back to Michael Crichton's novel.
Right.
Wherever you have a world, a chaotic world that's doing something different, opportunists appear. And the opportunists that basically, in essence, created the calamity and chaos of the original Jurassic Park film, a presence like that is in this game as well. And so, there's that kind of, those exist.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay. I have an inkling as to what you might mean.
And it may be a character you've known for a long time.
Yeah. I think before I get you in trouble, I might just say thank you so much for giving us time. And I can't wait to pick up on that thread and see exactly what you meant by that. But,
awesome.
Yeah. Thank you so
Great.
much, really.
My pleasure.
Cheers.
Yep.
And there you have it, a little insight into the story of Jurassic World Evolution. Hopefully you found it illuminating, but feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. We've got loads more videos on Jurassic World Evolution for you to watch, including one in which Aoife actually talks to Jeff Goldblum, so feel free to give one of those a watch if you fancy. Either way, thank you very much for watching this one. Bye!